Frances McDormand stars as Mildred Hayes, a divorced single mother in the depths of grief and guilt following the rape and violent murder of her daughter, Angela. Disillusioned with the local police and their total lack of progress in the investigation, Mildred rents 3 billboards on the outskirts of her Missouri hometown. Written on red backgrounds, they read in sequence, "Raped while dying," and still no arrests. How come, Chief Willoughby? Though the townspeople of Ebbing are sympathetic towards Mildred's tragic loss, many are hugely upset by the content of the billboards, particularly because well-liked Sheriff Bill Willoughby, Woody Harrelson, is dying of pancreatic cancer. Particularly enraged are his wife, Abby Cornish, and racist, inept officer Jason Dixon, Sam Rockwell, who is known around town for torturing a black suspect and never facing punishment. Dixon looks up to Willoughby as something of a much-needed father figure, and while the chief is endlessly patient and considerate of Mildred's plight, Dixon goes on a relentless power trip, assaulting the owner of the advertising agency behind the billboards and incarcerating Mildred's friend and co-worker on a bogus marijuana possession charge. While facing widespread hostility and backlash from the public for her billboards, Mildred is also struggling to salvage relationships with her depressed son Robbie, Lucas Hedges, and abusive ex-husband Charlie, John Hawkes. There are so many directions the plot could have taken from here. To say anything more about the story would be a disservice, because no matter what kind of movie you think this is going to be, it's not that kind of movie. It's hard to think of the last time a film so richly and satisfyingly explored blinding, insatiable, bottomless, debilitating anger and what it can do to the human soul. 3 Billboards feels totally of the moment, and at the same time this is a film that doesn't feel like it will ever really age all that much. As with his previous big-screen work, McDonagh fills 3 Billboards with dark humor steeped in truth that's as bitter as it is howlingly funny. Watching this movie unfold, you're always feeling some kind of extreme emotion, and that never lets up. Though McDormand has never given a performance that wasn't great, it doesn't feel like hyperbole to say that this is her finest work since her Oscar-winning turn as Marge Gunderson in the Coen brothers' Fargo. 3 Billboards is surely inspired by some of the Coens' greatest, but Marge and Mildred could hardly be more different. Now iconic police officer Marge was a sturdy, upstanding woman of the law who fought day after day for good. Mildred has a gentle heart buried deep down, but she's losing touch with that. We see the tender side of Mildred here and there, as in a conversation she has with a deer about reincarnation and the meaning of life, or a brilliant blink and you'll miss it moment when she assists a helpless upside-down beetle back on its feet. Yet Mildred teeters on the edge of losing herself completely, letting the rage consume her and giving into total darkness. We couldn't care more deeply for her as we see the conflict. Equally unforgettable is Rockwell, whose character navigates the film's most fascinating arc. We couldn't have less sympathy for this character when we first meet him, and then Rockwell and McDonagh do the unthinkable and give the guy a soul. Though some of Dixon's actions are monstrous and despicable, this character is gorgeously written and realized, and this might be a new career high for the always wonderful Rockwell. A Best Supporting Actor Oscar nomination feels like all but a certainty. With hindsight, the plot unfolds too conveniently in places, but the acting here is straight-up extraordinary, and 3 Billboards is always riveting and consistently surprising to watch. The ambiguous, inspired ending is a stroke of genius. While the film's signature is its laughter through tears extremes, fleeting moments of humor, particularly a subplot about Charlie's ditzy much younger girlfriend, are brought in a way that doesn't mesh with the otherwise grim, fiery and haunting tone. That's a footnote under one of the year's most unshakable films, a work drenched in feelings you won't be able to leave at the door when it's over. From Fox Searchlight, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri opens November 10.